Another video about real estate, because real estate consumes most of my existence right now on a number of different fronts. And I know that a lot of people don't want to hear the kind of stuff that I have to say, and that's why I don't get a lot of views. I don't get any views, actually. But a lot of that is just due, I don't put any production into this. There's no thumbnail or anything. But even if there was, people wouldn't like what I have to say because I bring you the reality. I'm not here to make money off selling you a dream, which is what all these gurus, all these gurus trying to tell you can drop out of high school and just find investors that are going to give you millions of dollars to play with. I mean, you use your common sense, man. Does that sound logical to you? These people with millions of dollars, they're going to give you money? Just think about it. But anyway, this video is about something totally different than that. It's about a couple different things. I'll get into some specifics, but the general idea off the top is that real estate is not. It's like anything else. It's a bunch of work. It's some victories. It's some defeats. It's not this magical thing that's being presented to you that everything's all good. It's passive. Almost none of it's passive. Okay. Like right now, I'm trying to buy a triple N property. It's my first time going in a commercial and triple N. I've previously been in residential, and I can tell you that this process has been far from passive. Now, granted, once I own it, maybe it'll be a little more passive, but there's still other things that make it not passive. I mean, do you know that a lot of these triple N properties, you're still responsible for the exterior walls and the roof? And even let's say you're not, when that tenant leaves, you're now responsible for everything before another tenant will go in. Not only do you have to get the building up to snuff because your tenant, you thought it was a great deal that the tenant was responsible for maintenance, but all the tenant did was not do any maintenance. And so that would have taken active effort on your part to hound them about maintenance and, make whatever threats you could make to get them to do maintenance, which most people just don't do. They just passively collect the money until the tenant leaves. So then now they got all this deferred maintenance that the tenant left. And in addition to that, just getting the building up to snuff, I'm talking about like essential systems. I'm talking about the roof, the HVAC, and so forth, plumbing. Well, now when a new tenant comes, you're the one that has to build out the building for them. You're gonna have to do a complete renovation to meet their specifications, which is, that's a huge expense. You're going to have to spend maybe like $100,000 getting the building to what they want it to be. In some cases, I mean, I'm not saying in every case. In some cases, their needs might be met by what you have. It just kind of depends. But the point is, the thing about it being passive is just ridiculous in any case. But just this process of buying this thing, like these people are just, the realtors, the sellers, they're all just a giant pain in the ass. You're constantly going back and forth. It's like, you can't trust anybody. Like, I mean, trusting the other side is like, you'd have to be mentally, deficient to even think of doing that. They'll screw you. Like, this guy basically has just been leading me along. I figured it out. I mean, I kind of had an idea. Like, I always felt uneasy, but my freaking green ass broker, because I'm a noob to this, it's my first deal. The amount of money I'm dealing with is not much compared to most commercial deals, because not only is it my first one, but I do this as a lone wolf. I'd rather own 100% of something small than like 1% of something big. I want to actually own my shit. So I'm a lone wolf. I don't do investors. And because the biggest thing is when you do investors, you're basically their employee. That's another thing these people don't mention, is if by some stretch you do get investors, well, they now basically own you. You have to report to them. Do you want to deal with that kind of pressure? I mean, I guess some people enjoy it, but I don't want to be constantly like having to take these people's phone calls about why something didn't go the way they wanted it to, and kissing their ass and submitting reports to them on the regular. No, I want to own my shit. So anyway, long story short, it's my first commercial deal, and it's a small deal, so the only broker I could get to work with me is some green-ass dude. He aggravates me because he believes everything these sellers tell him. And every time I warn him about what's to come, I found that it's been the case. And so there was this one deal that just didn't feel right to me. It felt too good to be true. And it was like, oh, well, the tenant hasn't renewed yet, but don't worry, they're going to renew. And we go forward, and then guess what? They didn't renew. So now the seller is like telling me to wait for him to renegotiate another lease, and I got a 1031 and my designations are already expired. So it's basically I either have to do this deal or my backup deal. And my backup deal is not going to sit around and wait for me forever. And this guy, and I'm supposed to just wait around. And then my broker saying, put a contingency. And I'm like, contingency doesn't help me because of the 1031. Now, normally, yeah, fine. I could just back out, but backing out isn't a solution for me because I back out and then my 1031's gone because no one else on my list of 3 properties is going to still be there. So yeah, like it's just not all it's cracked up to be. And then the other thing that's been taking up all of my time is I had a terrible, and this is was the final straw of why I'm trying to phase out of residential. I finally had one of these nightmare tenants, and I had the nightmare of nightmares. Like, this house is soaked from top to bottom with cat piss. And you have no idea how hard this is to get out. Like, really the proper thing to do, but I just wasn't willing to spend this much money, like take this much of a freaking bath on this thing, is you really have to strip. I'm not sure if you need to necessarily strip all the drywall, which would mean you're stripping it to the studs, but you absolutely have to take all the flooring out, and you probably should take out subflooring. Now, this is a 1-story house on a slab, so there really is no subflooring that you can take out. It's the concrete slab, but you do have to seal the concrete at the minimum. You gotta treat it with enzymes to try to get as much of the smell out of the concrete, and then you have to seal the concrete with an oil-based primer. Usually kills. So I did that in the bedrooms because they were carpet. I had to rip the carpet out. I mean, obviously the carpet was completely destroyed. It was soaked in piss. But the luxury vinyl plank in the rest of the house, I figure it's supposed to be waterproof, so I was just going to try to wash them, mop them up. And over time, I realized that the house just still smelled, and so now I've had to tear out a whole section of the vinyl plank. We've done price drops. We're really not getting any. I mean, the market sucks too. I mean, this is like a really serious situation I'm in here, where I might really be stuck with a house that I can't sell. And they don't tell you about that, do they? So obviously I'm collecting no rent on it. The thing had a massive cockroach infestation too. Like, I can't even believe how nasty these people were. Like, there were so many freaking cockroaches. We've done all the treatment. We've done, the gel bait and the growth regular stuff, and we've slaughtered thousands. I mean, we've found thousands dead that we swept up after our treatments, and I'm sure that's only a tiny percentage of how many we killed, because most of them are in the nest in the wall or something. I mean, we may have killed millions. They were just everywhere. They were crawling around like everywhere. We've actually gotten to the point now where we don't see them crawling around, and we actually don't even find dead ones, like many. So that's actually maybe like a success story. That's one positive thing. But this smell, it's just like, it's depressing. It like gets into your head. Like, this, where is the smell coming from? It's like, it's just an all pervasive smell. I mean, we've done everything. We've done the ozone. I don't know. We're hoping this section of the floor, because this was like a particularly bad area where they seemingly had the kitty litter, and so this is the area where we did tear the floor up, and sealed the concrete, and we're going to put new flooring down there. But then the rest of the flooring, I'm still not willing to just tear up all the flooring in the whole house, because you're talking thousands and thousands of dollars. So my new plan is to, I realized that just mopping the floor is not enough. That, like, I watched some videos that the vinyl plank is actually sort of, it has like a lot of like little grooves in it that smells can stay in. You have to actually take like a scrub brush with vinegar and stuff. So that's my new plan, is to just like try to scrub them clean. Yeah, other than, like I said, the one area where I'm actually replacing it, and then like do some more ozone after that, because like the ozone will take the smell out of the air, but you have to get rid of the source first. Because as soon as the ozone's not running anymore, if there's still a source, it's still pumping more into the air. So unless you're gonna have ozone running all the time and have the prospective buyers come in and, you know, die from ozone, that's not really a solution. You have to get to the source. But bottom line is, it's not all it's cracked up to be. Like, by these gurus, they don't tell you the negative. And that's where you need to have some judgment, is you need to understand that there's always a negative to something, but nobody ever tells you the negative. You can call me cynical if you want, but 48 years of experience on this earth has told me that there's a negative to everything. Just because someone's not telling you the negative. Like, your wife, when you were dating her, did she tell you she was going to nag you 24/7? You know what I mean? And, you know, attack your manhood every time she didn't get her own way and shit? No, of course she didn't. But if you had wisdom, you would have known that it wasn't going to be all good. That even if it's good in the aggregate, even if it's, you know, very good in the aggregate, there's still some kind of downside that you should be aware of. And therefore, that's when you should know that somebody's bullshitting you, when they don't tell you any downside. Like, I don't know, I get it. You know, like, what's the guy's name? Cobble or something? I commented on his video. Because the problem is he doesn't say anything negative. And he even, like, argued with me when I tried to say, hey, you know, not everyone's gonna have, you know, run in the circles where they're gonna be able to get all these investors. And he's basically just like, oh, well, you're a loser just because you couldn't do it. And it's like, okay, that tells you right there that the guy's a snake oil salesman, that he's full of shit, that he's going to attack someone's character for suggesting that there might be a downside to something. I mean, there's a downside to everything in life, everything. Number one bullshit detection right there, when somebody claims there's no downside to something. I mean, hell, there's a downside to pussy, you know? Syphilis, unwanted pregnancy, you know? The greatest thing in the world. There's plenty of downsides to it. Or, you know, oftentimes just the, you know, the person that the pussy's attached to is the ultimate downside. But, so yeah, anytime someone says there's no downside to something, give me a friggin' break, will you?